Oops, let's get my finger out of the way. Okay, I'm not used to doing this, but I'm just back from that ride. This should be an introduction, but I'm doing it after the ride, so maybe it's a post-introduction. Anyway, I don't know. And I'm a little bit disappointed because it turned out that whole ride that I was expecting to use the GoPro Media Mod and its internal microphone did not record any audio whatsoever. So I'm going to attempt a little voiceover audio again because it is my first vlog on this Cube stereo hybrid bicycle. The very first one I did, and the GoPro Media Mod did not work with its own provided microphone. So there you have it. Oh, and by the way, did I welcome you to Wistful Vistas, located here in beautiful suburban San Diego, California? Hey, hope it's going great. And I apologize for these adventures, but hey, you know, you can't control everything. I try. So here we are, right up the street at Wistful Vistas, and this is the first time I've vlogged with a camera on my e-mountain bike, which is a little difficult to tell here, as it's pretty steep up the hill here. So you have to drop a gear and disappear. That is, you ride straight up the hill. Not too interesting here, so we'll leave it at that. After we pass these very picturesque trash cans, it is trash day today, and hit the stop sign. I'll get back to you. And we continue on, and what happens here, I jump up over the ramp, and of course the camera drops down and is looking right at that front wheel. So exciting. And we're actually doing some trail riding. So you can see my foot as I'm pedaling around here. Again, not too exciting at this point, so we're going to skip ahead once again. Sorry. So at this point, bright chap that I am, I've realized that the camera has fallen down and is looking straight at the ground. So I'm adjusting it here and looking ahead, trying to get more of the trail in view. Now, it's a challenge enough on the motorbike to get this panorama and perspective correctly done, but it's perhaps, if anything, even a bit more of a challenge on a bicycle. I'm not too sure where it should go. You want to have a little view of the road ahead, but at the same time, you want to have something of the machine on board so that you can really get a perspective of where you are in time and space. One of the nice things that shows up here is how stable the GoPro 10 is, even though if it is somewhat persnickety. Didn't record a single bit of sound with that microphone. But you can see how stable it is. And I go on and off the path here just to show that point. But we're going to head up to a pretty steep uphill section here, and we're going to check out right until we get to there. And that is exactly what we do. We ride over a little bit of the ground there and then hop on to the trail as provided through our little village here of Santa Luz and get back over on the trail on that e-bike. Once again, this GoPro is so stable it doesn't show any of the bump or whatever, well, perhaps just a slight amount of it, but it's really remarkably stable as we go through this trail. The trail itself isn't all that bumpy, and there wouldn't be that much movement in the camera, but you would be able to see some under normal type conditions. Now we're going uphill here on this gravel trail, and we're going to get ahead to a point where we have quite a bit of an uphill section to get through. What I am is I'm traveling over the sides of the trail now, and I'm looking for various areas of grip and how the tires react as I try those areas of grip. One of the things that's make the biggest improvement in this particular machine, besides its overall quality and build, is the tires are from a company called Schwalbe. I'm sure my German-speaking friends can tell me what that means. I think it refers to some kind of a bird, but not sure. But they're knobbed tires, and they are such an improvement over the street tires that were on my previous e-bike, the Raleigh, and they give you a lot of confidence, particularly as you get into steep uphill and downhill sections of the trail. Now I'm coming up here to this uphill, and you can see it on the vlog here, but what isn't particularly shown is how steep it is uphill. This is pretty steep. So once again, we're going to drop a couple of gears, pop up to the top here, and right at the apex in sort of an uncomfortable section, there is a turn there. I wish it were straight all the way to the end. And we're going uphill all the way using that e-bike's power assist feature. And we're back on the road. I'll come back to you later on, and we'll resume this ride. And as promised, we resume the ride. Now, where I am is on the golf course at Santa Luz, and strictly speaking, I'm not supposed to be on here with any kind of a non-golf cart vehicle other than my own 2 feet, but hey, I've got special privileges, and I've just met up with Mrs. Cooper, who's given me 1/2 of her uneaten turkey sandwich. Now, isn't that sweet? We're going to stop here on this little knoll and watch her as she hits her second shot. She is getting ready to hit the shot. You can see her off in the distance there. She's that far, far figure in the little black golf skirt. Takes a practice swing and sets up, addresses the ball, takes her backswing, follows through, makes the shot. And it's not possible to follow it on the GoPro, but that ball goes directly onto the green. I drive by to say thank you for the turkey sandwich and congratulations, young lady. And we then head off back up the cart path and get onto the trail of the golf course here at Santa Luz, right near Wistful Vistas, and you all know about that place. So we're going to ride to the top of the hill here for a few more minutes. I'll show you that. You can stay with me. This is a pretty steep ride, so you've got to play with the gears a little bit. The gears shift up and down very nicely on this Cube stereo hybrid, so it's not an issue getting up and down the gears as you need them. Now, there are several power settings that are similar to what I had on my previous e-bike, which included off, eco, tour, sport, and I believe there's a turbo setting on this. I'm not too sure. There's one added extra gear on this stereo Cube 140, and that is called eMTB, and that allows you to keep it more or less in an intermediate gear as you're out on a trail, and the bike will respond by adding torque input as the requirement occurs, and you cause that to happen by how forcefully you press down on that pedal as you're moving along. You can see this is a pretty curvy road. What's a little more difficult to see on the camera as it's set up like this is that it's very steep. You're moving and grooving when you get up here this far, and right here is one of the highest points on the golf course, and we'll just meander on down the cart path here a little bit, and I'll give you a chance to take a look at some of the surroundings that we are blessed to live with here at Wistful Vistas in suburban San Diego, California. Okay, now we're back off the golf course and getting back into a little bit of mini trail riding. I'm still getting my feet wet, so to speak, with how this bike handles through the trails and across the dirt and rock bits and some up and down. It's a little more, I think, challenging actually to be going downhill, as this is on a trail, than it is to be going uphill. But hey, who would have thought that? All right, we'll rejoin in just a moment or two. All right, riding along and coming along by parts of the golf course and parts of the trails around Santa Luz they so thoughtfully provide. We're now in a tunnel and coming out the other side. A little humorous thing takes off up here, and that is I wanted to go over on a trail, And as I started to go over and take it, I looked out and there was a pretty large concrete culvert, which you can just see right there, that was going to jump up right in front of me. I might have been able to lift that front wheel and tire over that, but if I hadn't, it would have been an endo for sure. I certainly couldn't have lifted the rear wheel and tire over that, and that would have been totally a crash. So looked out there, looking ahead. Remember, always look at where you're going, and keep your eyes open for little hazards like that. So we use a rock and get back on the bicycle here, and we'll get back into some riding in just a moment. Okay, what happens here as we go past again those picturesque trash cans on trash pickup day at San Luis is we're going to look at some speed. And I wish that I could show the bicycle speedometer. There is one on it. These bikes are limited as far as the speed you can pedal to I think about 26. Let's see what this radar sign says. It says I'm doing 24, 25. And there's a steep section coming up. I'm picking up a little more speed. This is not so steep here. And then we're going to turn the corner and start heading downhill pretty quickly. And I got this up to about 28 miles an hour. I think I've read as high as 29 as I was flying down the hill here, which feels very, very fast on a bicycle. I can tell you, it really does. Comparatively on a motorcycle, that feels like you're crawling, depending upon the motorcycle, of course, but on the Aprilia Tuono, it does feel like you are really crawling along. And we slow down and we go back over. Again, we're going to get that stabilization from both the suspension on the Cube e-bike as well as from the GoPro. I just wish the software on the GoPro weren't as glitchy as it apparently is, but it is. It is what it is as a famous person. Well, I said it anyway, but anyhow, it is kind of glitchy, so I have to record voiceover for this part. But we come up to the trail, and we're heading back into the area of my neighborhood, and it's going to get a whole lot less interesting as we come out and stay along that trail on the way back. I'll leave you here, and I'll apologize once again for having all of these audio situations with the GoPro 10. It's been disappointing. I'm going to have to find out why it won't work out via their helpline. Okay, signing off for now. Big news about me coming later on, folks. Enjoy your day. Bye for now.